Welcome to the Tank Podcast. In this week's episode, Charlotte Shane reads from her memoir Prostitute Laundry, a frank and thoughtful account of the life of a sex worker in the city.
I'm Charlotte Shane reading from my book Prostitute Laundry. Drunk client was getting slightly drunker than usual at one of our lunches when he decided we had to go to the city's ritziest strip club. As the client goes, so goes the hooker, and we got into a cab with under 2 hours left in our date. The taxi stopped a few doors down from the club itself, and my right foot slipped out of my heel while we walked toward the door. Several men loitered outside, the bouncer and two guys smoking, someone else doing who knows what. They watched as I struggled to leverage my foot back in. I gave up and told DC, "You'll have to kneel down and fix it for me." Gamely, he did so. "Shoe trouble?" the bouncer said as we passed. We were seated near the rail, but to the side at a cramped table. There were maybe 15 customers total, including DC and I, and an elderly man who was the only one bothering to clap, pointedly, after each dancer left the stage. I've been thinking about strip clubs recently because I wanted to go with George, but I wouldn't have chosen this one. The one I liked was rowdy, with multiple platforms in a row. There, strippers on stage shouted at customers in enthusiasm or derision, or both. DC's choice was supposed to be upscale, with less physical variety among its dancers and a more refined clientele. The last part might have been true, comparatively. At the Rowdy Club several years ago, a customer did something horrific that resulted in the long, protracted death of an employee. DC immediately ordered more drinks, which worried me, but he complained about how watered down they were. I trusted he was getting blitzed enough for me to start speaking to him a little differently, and I asked if I could tell him something I hadn't yet told any other client. "Of course," he said. "I'm going to get implants," I said. "What? No, don't do that. It's because you're getting older." He shook his head, and I felt a stab of anger, but also recognition. I know him well enough now. What did I expect? "Lisa has implants," he said. During one of our threesomes, it came up, and I had to pretend I didn't know. But really, I did. He imitated his look of surprise, and then gave a simpering grin, finishing witheringly, "I knew." "That was very gallant of you," I said. "But look, Lisa has implants, and you still like her." Lisa is his London-based escort, the one he's been seeing for even longer than me. I once referred to her as, quote, affordable and available, and he's never forgotten it. He brings it up regularly and comments on how catty I am. But my frustration wasn't with her, it was with him. For at least a year, he's badgered me to come to Paris with him at a steep discount. During one of our lunches, I finally told him to write a number down on a piece of paper and slide it across the table for me. I overturned the napkin to see a third of what it would have been according to my rates. I was impressed by the crassness, even for him. "Here's my counteroffer," I'd said. I'd slid it back to him with a number double my rates.
To hear more podcasts from Tank, you can subscribe on all major podcast platforms or follow us on SoundCloud. The theme music for this podcast is by Memoir.